Okay, today we're going to be installing a Wally full motion LED LCD TV wall mount. I already opened the box up, and this is pretty much what was in it here. Nicely numbered or labeled with letters for the things you're going to need. Of course, your directions are right there, and every time it refers to one of these letters, it could be a screw or a mount or something, you just match it up to what's right here. Came with also extensions in case the back of the mount, which is right here, this is the mount, didn't fit the TV. In my case, this fit perfectly. Here's the TV we're mounting it to, and this TV, let me see, take a quick look at it here. This TV is a 32-inch flat screen. It's very lightweight. It's an Insignia, and in this case here, the mount matched perfectly with the holes in the back. I mean, literally, I just held it up there and it matched perfectly. But if it did not, we would just add the extensions that it came with. This thing was like 23 bucks on Amazon. I got 3 of them, so under $70. Can't really beat that for 3 of them. But we're going to get started here, and it recommended that we use these tools. I have everything there but the stud finder. It recommends. I don't have a stud finder, but I got my wood bits. I think it required a 7/32 wood bit, which is right here. I already took it out. It said an awl or a nail. That's to go in to the hole to check where the stud is once you find it. This actually came also with this, which is nice. The mount came with this HDMI cable for the TV. It looks like it's heavily insulated. It's awesome. So, but we don't. And then of course it's a half. On this one, it's a 1/2-inch socket and ratchet, and it's pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot of tools in it. It required a pencil as well. So that's just the tools we'll need. We'll be setting it up here on this wall right there. Now, I don't have the stud finder, so what we'll do is the old-fashioned way. I'm going to go along here and knock along the wall to see where the stud is. And we'll go from there. Well, we were going to go ahead the old-fashioned way, and I thought that I could hear the stud here, so I drilled a tiny little hole here, and then I did right again here, and it wasn't there. So it is the 21st century. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and go to Home Depot and go get a stud finder. Before we do that, let's check to see if it's at our local store. And of course, you'll want to have some helpers with you when you do this kind of job. This is Lexi and this is Duke. You guys gonna help out? All right. You guys are master carpenters, right? All right. Let's go. So what I did here is I went to the computer, went to Home Depot, and there's a icon at the top of the left corner, right up there. It says you're shopping the Sawgrass store. Well, I'm not in Florida right now, but I was at one time, so that's why that's up there. I was shopping some stuff while I was there. But what I do is I changed my location, and it asked me, change your local store to what? So you just punch your zip code in there. Once you do, you'll be able to shop your local Home Depot. Then you type in my case, stud finder, and pops up in there, shows you a variety of them. And then from that point on, it says what aisle it's on and what row to go to and right where it is in the store and how many are even left in the store. In this case, there was 11 of them left. I sent a text to my phone from this Home Depot website. So once you figure out where you're gonna do it, there's a little spot there. It says text to my phone right there. Text to my phone. So once I found out, like I said, it says Sawgrass. I'm not there. But text to my phone, and it'll text me the information I need, so when I get to the store, I don't have to, digger around. I can just go right to the right aisle and grab what I need. And I just received a text from Home Depot, which explains in the text where the item I'm looking for is, and even the address. All right, we're back from Home Depot, and I got me one of these. I went and asked the lady where the stud finders were. She showed me a picture of my wife. Just kidding. My wife was obviously looking for me, right? Anyways, if you look here, it shows you that it finds the edge. See where the arrow is of the 2x4 that's behind the wall? And then when you find the other edge, obviously you know where the middle is, and that's where you would put your screw holes. This one was $11, and it's good for 3/4 inch or less drywall. So we're gonna give it a shot. Takes a 9-volt battery. Picked them up pretty cheap too. Okay. So I just popped a 9-volt battery in this bad boy. Gonna hold it up to the wall, and there's a little button right there on the side. You hit the button, it lights up, and then it tells you where the edge of the stud is. So let's just see what happens here. Ah, that's one edge. If we keep going, it's off. So it's from between here. I'll mark that with a pencil, and right about there, because if I keep going, it shuts off. So I got it, and you all see how that works. We find the edge of the stud. Right there's one edge, and as we keep going, it's right there. So it's in between those two places where the arrow showed up on the wall, which I'll mark now with a pencil. Now I found the middle. Most definitely you hit the middle between that mark there, if you can see that, and that mark there, and we're getting wood. As I'm drilling, I can see wood. As I pull back, there's wood coming out. So we're in the middle of you can see the paper I put down. There's also wood on it. So now we're going to go back to our mount, and it tells us to remove this plate here, because we're going to put that on the back of the TV. So these just unscrew on this particular type. They said it's a Wally, W-A-L-I, Wally. Very cheap. And then this just comes off, and of course we're going to mount this to the back of the TV like that, and eventually we'll just slide it onto our mount that's on the wall. Alright, we've come to an impasse here, and here's the bolts and apparatuses that came with the mounting kit. And like we started off with here and I showed you. Now, you have different mounting screws for the back of TVs, and they come in M6, you can see that there, M8, and M5. Problem is, this TV is an M4. That's what the kind of screws it requires. If you can see that right there, M4. So it doesn't come with this kit. So I called my hardware store down the street from here, and they said that they do carry the M4, and just have to, you know, bring this the little length of what length I want. So I'm sure that the length is going to be kind of shallow for the back of these holes on the back of the TV, and I'll just bring this whole kit with me here, because it's probably going to be the same length as these screws it came with. They're just not the right diameter. Alright. Okay, we're back. I just got back from the hardware store, and I had to get these bolts because of the issue with the M4s. Here they are. This is what we needed right here. They're 24 cents a piece. Well worth it to finish this job. And of course, again, if you're getting this wall mount, it's very good price for it, and it's well made. It feels very well made. But it does not come with M4s. So check the back of your TV, and then I just recommend going spend the money on the bolts. getting this system here unless you can find one cheaper, but it's made pretty good. It's very solid metal. Alright, well, we're going to get started on the mounting in the back of the TV now. Now, of course, what I did was I went to the K section here where there's some washers, and they were the washers with the smallest holes. And I just used those. You know, they're probably made for the M5s, but then, you know, it doesn't take M5, so I'm just using them with the M4s, and they work fine. So, just do it like that. I already put these two in. And you just do all 4 of them. That's it. Okay, we're to the section of this instructional video on the instructions where we're at step 5.1, which we already actually did with the locating our stud. And then 5.2, it just says position the wall plate at your desired height. Well, it never told us to disconnect the wall plate from this. It's probably Chinese. They just left that step out. But obviously, if the next step is to position your wall plate, we have to remove it from the arm, which it's connected to right now. So I'm just going to take out that bolt and that bolt right there, and we'll just have this one wall plate right there, and we'll connect that and attach that to the wall with our with the holes we made. That's it. Now, in the originally the instructions that told us to, this is one of the tools we would need, and it is. It's an Allen key. However, to take the wall plate off, we needed a different size Allen key, and you can see the difference in the size. I just went and got one out of my toolbox. This one's just a size bigger, and we're just taking that to take this plate off here, and just using it like that, and we're just gonna take the plate off the arm. So, like I said, the instructions did not include, or the kit did not include this size Allen key, but it's just a standard Allen key. It's just a little bigger than the one it came with. You just have to find one in your toolbox and fit it into the hole there. That's it. Okay, I just took the wall plate off, and that's this right here. And this piece, you can see these little two little fingers on the bottom. That's the bottom. So it's going to go like that up on the wall with that on the bottom. Those two little fingers. So that's your top, that's your bottom. And I disconnected it from the arm right there. Now it says to use lag bolt B and washer L, which is, just go to your packet right here. And here's lag bolt B. Look at some serious looking lag bolts there. And then your washer is L right here. And it fits right through there. And that's how you mount it up there. Now, one of the things that it also said is put one lag bolt at the top of your wall bracket and one at the bottom. Don't worry about these middle holes. You're not supposed to put anything there. And of course, we're going to level this. It came with a little level, the kit, as well. And that is right here in the kit, number or letter O. Right there, a little level. And we'll level it. Alright, just to show you too, this little level, I already made my holes, and but it's level. I mean, if you can see that, it's pretty good. That's level. Alright, we're good to go. Okay, there's one thing I left out. There's a piece of cardboard that says up on it, and it's in the box. You don't really need it. It's just there as a guidepost, but when it says position the wall plate at your desired height, it's talking about that to help you do the guide. I skipped that step, and then once I realized that it was there, I went ahead and reinstalled it. It's behind the wall plate. I don't really think it matters though, but that's just what I did. That's not a big deal. You don't really need it, but I did put it in there. It's behind this wall plate here, and it says up back here, facing up. We already had done it right because I told you these two fingers here are on the bottom, so that's how I knew. Okay, and all I did was take the arm. Remember I showed you how I disassembled it? This was not part of the directions actually. I just took these two bolts out, got my wall plate up, and then once I was done, I put the arm back up here and slid my bolts back in and then just tightened them back up. Directions didn't say to do that way. Directions just said to mount this whole thing up there like this with this on there and then screw these in, which you can do too. Just a little more awkward because this thing is like off balance and it kind of, you almost have to have somebody else holding it for you. But I just took it off. You saw that portion of it, and then I just now put it back on. And here's the plate we put on the back of the TV. Remember those 2 screws that we took off in the beginning? Right there, they call the S screws. Well, they go into the plate right here. You see how the plate is a little perforated out here like that? That's because these screws are going to go in there. When I screw that in there, I'll leave it out a little bit, and then when I come up here, I'll just hang it onto that notch on the top, and then of course the bottom one I'll screw all the way in until it's tight, and then our TV will be up. And here's the first one. I said perforated. It's just protruding is what I meant to say, that this portion of it to where it'll accept that screw, go in further. The portion of this plate is protruding outward. So you know that you have it on there right, because this is the side that sticks out a little bit right there. Okay. Now we're going to put our decorative covers back on. We took off when we were working. This one just slides on there. And then these just kind of slide up like that, like so. What it's doing is just covering up those bolts right there. And it's just going to slide up in there and pop on, and the same thing on the top. And there's what it looks like with them on. They just kind of slide up, slide on. They're just decorative covers. That's all they are. And we're going to hang our TV next. And we're all done. And the way you see this thing moves, you pretty much extend it out. It does all kinds of different ways. It goes like that. And it tilts as well, up and down. I already said it where I wanted it though. And then if you want, it goes flat up against the wall as well, like that. And I have it tilted a little bit, but that's it. All done. End to a beautiful day. Hope I helped you out with that. Have a good one.